in itself is fun, and it's a whole history. Obviously, the guys in Astralis know very well you know, what Config is all about and his aggressive style. So it'll be fun to see how this plays out. Complexity going to be starting on the T side, Astralis on the CT side. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like a flashbang to set up a push out long. There we go. Sip is down in pit and Device is there. They've got a bit of a crossfire, but it's already broken up. And look at that. Sip's on his own, just saying, you know what? Don't risk it. Just let him fall back. Now he's bringing a bit of backup. Are they going to be able to flash their way into this? They have some grenades up at the A-bomb site, but right now they're just waiting for it. And they don't even check for Sip. Oh, they're all lined up. Oh, it's a disaster. Sip. A lot of damage. Just a one kill, but then comes the crossfire. They finally got rid of Sip, but that has cost them a lot already.
Yeah, not enough kills coming out for such an effective crossfire, but they've slowed it down. They've done the damage, but somehow Complexity has fought their way into an even situation. A 3-on-3. Bomb is up at Goose and Config's hands. They can still try and make this work. A plant would at least be something.
It's going to be huge. No one jumping for the shot just now, so the bomb does get planted, and this is very interesting. Suddenly there's a lot of pressure on Astralis. Magus, though, excellent headshots, and Rush, he wants to fall away. He's going to take the fight anyway. Picks up a gun, but it's not in time. Instead, it's Magus with the triple kill, but that was a close round. They actually had the bomb plant down exactly where they wanted. I don't think Astralis had any smokes or anything. That could have been huge, but they just couldn't get away.
Almost a miraculous clutch from Rush. 4 kills. That would have been the ace in the round, and he just ran out of bullets to use. Now, one small detail. Config, you could see him jumping at that corner. He's trying to clear deep into pit, and he never spotted Zip, who was tucked very deep into that corner, and the jump just wasn't able to spot wide enough. That could have been a disaster, and somehow I'm very impressed that Complexity even made it that close.
Yeah, because I mean, that could have all fallen apart in just that initial engagement. And the fact that they get the bomb down and get all those kills means they can get the Kriegs, the Scout here, and already doing a lot of damage. Device down to 35, so they're quite dangerous in this round, and they've got so much time to play around with. So let's see what Astralis do. If they want to challenge, that'd be risky. I like this play from Dupree and Magus over at B. That's sort of a very, very aggressive, halfway into a push up and upper there.
I like this boldness of Config working his way up catwalk. Rush and Blame F with the Kriegs. Rush is very far back. It's all in this Mac 10. Good trade from Rush. A critical one before Poison went down. And Device has spotted one. He's taken a shot, and he's going to back away. Meanwhile, Glaive, we're going to see this frequently in this map. He's pushed in towards the long cave. He's going to have a very fast flank if need be.
Yeah, he's already out. That's something to watch for, and they just don't know. Oh, they're actually falling back, and Glaive, if he sticks around top mid, he's for sure going to hear them falling back. Playing it patiently. He's getting the call anyway from B, saying, yeah, they're not really showing up. Magus got 1 kill over there, so he's just staying put, and this could be the round-winning play right here.
This map position just basically wins it feels like. This is going to be such a hard angle for them to even be aware to check. Now, the timing. Will he peek out towards long? He's turned away. He spotted them at last. He sees all 3, or at least 2. He's called it out, and he's going to remain aggressive. He knows they're committed into the cave. You can see Dupree and Magus on the minimap rotating over towards CT spawn.
Device is ready, taking down Poison. They just know everything. This is what Complexity are doing. It could be fine, but the fact that they're getting caught and read all the way through is a big problem. Obo getting a huge kill there on Magus, but he's still going to get shut down. So they do a bit of damage. Would have been amazing if they could have got one more kill in there. But
this is the style of play from Astralis that makes it so difficult for underdogs to be able to overcome them, because they are just so good at getting positioning on the map to find the intel. You can't ever surprise them, and if you're an underdog, those are some of the qualities that you need to force an upset, is being able to catch them off guard, you know, find a hit where they don't really know what's coming. But Glaive does this against the best teams in the world. He's going to push out long quite frequently, especially if he's not challenged, and they'll do the same thing. Magus will do the same thing on the other side of the map, pushing in towards upper dark from time to time.
there was a point in time, definitely, when Astralis didn't have this quality. I mean, even when they were really, really good and you know, top 1 or 2 in the world, where they didn't have that aggressive quality, and then they added it, and it somehow became even worse for everybody. I think that was the one thing you could say about Astralis, is they played the mechanical style of Counter-Strike to a really high level, but they didn't have that sort of open creativity quite to the same extent. And the fact that they found a way to add that even into their game is sort of ridiculous. And I think you're right, that does make it very, very hard to play against.
Dupree's going to be frustrated. He didn't manage a kill, but I mean, you want to talk about just strong fundamentals, realizing in this second round that you're not going to have the Kriegs and the AKs on the board. Stay at a distance and still losing a couple players, a bit uncharacteristic, but not in any danger of losing the round just yet, although now it could get interesting. Config with an M4, a 1 versus 2, but he's got Magus at low HP. Headshot angle though, so it kind of negates the 14 health.
It does a little bit, and he's just going to walk right into it.
That negates the 14th health as well.
That'll do it. I mean, he needed some sort of element of surprise there, and
yeah,
didn't really get a chance. 3-0 though, and a much more expensive round for Astralis than I think they were really expecting. Now we got poison on that AWP, and Devices picked up one on the other team as well. So, yeah, now is the chance for a bit of a test here. They've done a lot of damage to the economy on the Astralis side, so that if they can turn this round, actually Complexity might have a decent start.
Oh, dropping for a fast cat push. Zip is going to be there to meet them again, and he's got the first kill. That's a Krieg in hand. Nade is going to slow down Blame F. A little bit of damage, and the utility negates any fast-paced aggression. Great shot from Device.
That looked like a fight that maybe could have been. Oh, he gets the leg shot through as well. That's hard to handle. But I'm sad that Config didn't win that fight, because that's actually how I would want them to use Config, is to say, you know what, you lead the charge, wherever that may be, if it's long or catwalk, but I'd bet good money Config could win a lot of those fights. Zip was just there so quick.
And he had the Krieg able to just hold that angle once he turns the corner. Megas waiting for a pop flash from the teammate. There's the peek, and he just cleans up poison. 1 HP, I don't even think he even realized it. Shout out to Device with the assist, and look at this setup. Covering each other just perfectly. Bombs down in mid. Even with Megas going down, it's not going to matter. 4-0. And a quick 4-0 as Complexity has opened up this game on a tear on their T side. These have been very fast-paced rounds.
And some of them even, close. They could just, again, they just need to turn one of them. He actually does get a dink as well, and that's what's really sad. But this does look
That's
similar,
unreasonable. That is unreasonable. Well, that money situation you talked about, it's still kind of there. Megas can Dupree under $1,000, but that, I mean, as long as they keep some people alive in this round, enough players, it's going to build right back up. But I like what Complexity's doing. They have, a half buy, but look at all the utility. I mean, 4 smokes still in hand, plenty of flashbangs, so they have enough elements of danger to be able to cause some of these kills and limit the economic growth.
Grenade gonna go, I think, a little bit further.
Holy hell.
The odds are...
Have you ever seen anything like those odds?
No, not really. Not for a while. I feel like, if you're willing to take a chance, then here we go. Gonna be pushing out. Thought maybe they would actually let Rush set up one of those smokes for CT spawn all the way from outside, but it looks like Config's going to be doing that anyway. So actually double smoking middle is what they're signaling at the moment. That would give you the space probably to get a little bit closer with the pistols. And they're not going to find any fight in here, which seems like they're not even really trying. They're just leaving one.
They want to pull the attention towards middle with 3 smokes, that there's going to be some kind of an execute, a set piece through the smoke towards the B bomb site. Meanwhile, 4 players lining in upper dark. Dupree's going to have a big job to do. He's scoped in. He misses the first shot. Megas gets blind, and there's a chance. Zipnik falls in mid, but a double. 3 kills for Dupree. Add a 4th on top. 5-0.
You know what? They did everything right. They did everything right to set up the strategy to get close to that AWP. This is supposed to be where this weapon has a huge downside, but that's outrageous. Dupree AWPing. It's not the first time we've seen it. It used to be a bit of a joke, but then there was one tournament in Royal Arena where it stopped being funny. Turned out he was really good with it.
He's a bit of a freak.
AW Peter, I think, is what they started calling him. So.
All right, some players out long. Config gonna try and turn the corner, but Magus has a double of his own, putting down his Danish brethren. And another huge deficit for Complexity. And I don't mind this pacing that Complexity has started this game out, but I think at a certain point, and it might be right now after this round, you call a timeout, and I think you have to slow things down. Like, if you can't just run this fast pace every single time. Astralis is ready for it. The utility's coming out early. They're willing to challenge and fight. They're not scared of your aggression. This is where you kind of need to rethink the game plan.
Okay. 8 health on Magus, 22 on Glaive. It's not to try and make up too many excuses, but some of those engagements, as they've been in previous rounds, just, a little bit shy of working out in favor of Complexity.
And here's Glaive pushed in cave again. We said to keep our eyes on that on the minimap. He's going to have a lot of information. Astralis knows there's no hit coming towards long, and at any point, as soon as utility is spotted, Glaive can actually just push forward and have a giant backstab.
Yeah. They do make the jump down, so they've got Rush moving closer. A missed shot will open it up. Magus going down to the Molotov, but pushing through the smoke is Sip. He's swiftly traded. That's a double kill for Obo, and it's not bad at all. Somehow, from a 5-on-3 into a 2-on-2, so that's a big victory for Complexity. Showing a little bit of power, and I don't know, Dupree with a knife out as he jumps up. That's a big risk. Obo back for a triple kill now, and it's Glaive. Low on health from the earlier engagement in a 1-on-2. I think he spotted it out, and yeah, that's going to help him, but should still be tricky to get that kill, and Poison is swiftly out of there. That did nearly nothing at all, and they'll take him down. Complexity finding a very unlikely round and learning a lot surely in the process. Just getting that catwalk and proving, ooh, that's something we can use.
That's a well-executed set piece. That's great trades as well. I mean, this is a magnificent start, and I actually can't believe he got that first kill through the smoke. Good kills from Rush, though. A little bit of entry in the mid-round. Now, if you're Complexity, you're not going to win a whole lot of those 3 versus 5, so you have to be really cautious how you open these rounds.
Well, they got Rush out on long. Again, the flashbangs are being traded, and Glaive will come out heavily on top. He's got Device behind him, so they want to be very careful about turning that sort of a trap that's been set. Device, they don't have a lot of grenades to try and get rid of him, so yeah, Poison's thinking about a Device. Oh, he just aims away. And a good return frag coming in this time from Complexity, and that gives them a lot of control. Conflict down in the middle, and Glaive is actually pushing up. This could get very awkward. He's not aiming the right way. The middle, see the top of the head, and misses the opportunity. And now he's in trouble. His teammates are quite far away. He's still alive.
I don't think either of them want anything to do with that fight. Glaive's going to back off on Catwalk, but they're all caught in a really weird spot. Dupree, Zip, and Glaive. Oh, and that's really strange for Glaive. An awkward fight as he tries to transition into the site. Now come the utility, but at least they have the information at this point. Molotovs to slow down the cross, bullets coming through, and Glaive finds Poison.
Obo with a return, so they're keeping the pace right now. Config's all the way back, but making that jump wasn't going to work. Obo's now picked up an AWP and is fragging with that as well. Another 2-on-2 here. And Config finally, after having more or less trekked halfway around the map, is actually back in a position where he could do something. He's going to be setting up that smoke for the cross, or it's going to be towards CT spawn a little bit further back down. And in the creek again we go. 30 seconds on the clock, and they need to make a move right here. Complexity. Magisk is now on the flank, and it's being held a bit. He does get across, and he's got the bomb, but Config's not holding long, and that gives the huge opportunity. Magisk coming in with a kill. And Obo in a 1 versus 2, that's almost unwinnable. He's going to stand up for a kill. Oh my god, he turns around for it! An unbelievable round, a quad kill. The youngest player on the team, and look at what he's capable of.
Yeah, they have. I mean, they have a lot of stock in Obo as a player to develop into a very, very strong piece of this Complexity team, and that's a nice way, you know, to get on the board and get started in this match against against the best team in the world.
That's amazing. Love everything about that.
5-2. And finally back to pistols for Astralis. UMP in hand. Glaive again gonna win that fight. Complexity struggling with the opening duels, but at least they're trading pretty efficiently in this game so far.
I like the fact that even though they're such a mixed team, they've embraced that American kind of, Counter-Strike where you say, we're fighting our way back all the time. What would it be like if it actually went well in the beginning? What if some of these rounds weren't having to fight your way back kind of rounds?
I think a lot of it is going to, eventually when they come back and look at this series, not that it's over or anything, but the opening kills are going to be an important factor. At the moment, only Blame F has success on the entry for Complexity. He's the only opening kill they have so far in these 8 rounds.
Wow, the fact that if that is true, and I'm going to assume you're telling me the truth, Jason?
Yeah,
then I don't know why I put so much down. But then it's even more impressive that they're about to have 3 rounds even, because that usually dictates a lot of what's going to happen in any given round.
Well, they might get 4 out of this. This might be a 2-fer considering Astralis has fully bought into this. The next round, if Complexity is to convert this into a win, not going to be a whole lot to fight with for Astralis, but for the moment, that scout's got to be scary. Same with the Deagle. Dupree has somehow worked his way to car, and they're aware. Spamming him down. Config cautious the whole time, and there goes Zip.
Really well done. I love the control here for a team like Complexity. That's one of the hard things, I think, to build into a new team, is to have all the troops under control. So the fact that they weren't throwing that round away by just being aggressive and fighting with the advantage, that's a good sign. Like, there are so many positive signs. They're winning some of these rounds that are hard to win against Astralis, and they're playing reasonably when they need to.
No, but this is, I think, where Complexity has to go on quite a bit of a run. I mean, already they're 3 in a row, which is very nice. But for a young team and for a new team that's still figuring things out, momentum is your ally. This is where you have to start feeling really, really good, and you have to string a lot of rounds together because Astralis, they're gods at changing momentum. So while you have it, you better take advantage of that. Yeah! All right, I like it.
It's it's intimidating though, isn't it?
That's the sound he makes in the last set in the gym.
I believe so, or if he was fighting that guy with the spear in Game of Thrones, and he's just ready.
Well, you know how that one ends.
Yeah, we do know how that one ends. 5-3, and all the pressure on Astralis. They bought 2 HE grenades, but otherwise they don't have that much to show for in this particular round. So it could be something. They have some players, though, that, I mean, someone like Config, you talked about momentum, right?
Yeah.
So I agree completely that that's what they need to exploit. But if you could get Config up and running, then that's like half the equation right there.
Well, especially because we know when he's feeling the game and when he's feeling just his game in general, he's one of the most courageous players we have. He's got some of the biggest balls in the entire professional scene, so that's who you'd expect to start, running away with things and start kind of exerting his dominance on the field of play.
We've done the measurements. It's accurate.
What we're saying is we need to see Config's balls.
Yeah, you know what? There's some prime content right there. I reckon, though, we've got maybe half a generation of Counter-Strike viewers, maybe it's more than that even, who actually haven't seen that version of Config at all.
Oh, yeah.
Because of just how his career
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while. So, yeah, that's something that we could even look forward to in this particular game, or just in this version of Complexity that would be a lot of fun. Obo getting back up with 3 members joining him, and I don't see this defense holding. A flashbang to set it up. Dupree with the CC, and that needs to be a quick kill. Only got 12 bullets to make it happen. Device there with the P250. It's good, but he can't pick up the AK-47. They get to do some damage, Astralis. This is really not a bad round for them at all, but they do make it through Complexity.
That was a bit sloppy, though, from Complexity, and there was a chance with that kind of messed up flashbang, the entry. There wasn't a great positioning, great spacing on the trade. It works out either way because it's against pistols, but against rifles, that gets chewed up. 4-5 as Complexity has rattled off all 4 in a row, and right back into this game.
And I guess the same point could be made for Rush, right? In terms of sort of highlights of his career, and then just a little bit off to the side for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean major winning Rush. He just got a major trophy underneath his belt from Cloud9 in Boston, and he's a pickup that came into this team. A lot of people scratching their head, not thinking he still had some game, and he's much like Config. You're exactly right. He's got to prove himself in this roster.
That actually is a tag through the door there against Device. So Device still lethal, obviously, in this round, but having him down to 26 means it does limit a bit what he can do. And he actually falls back from the middle, calls in Dupree instead. Very common setup here for Astralis. Nothing changed. Glaive's still not pushing over it long, like we talked about. That is something they have to look for.
Well, I mean, that's the importance of this run from Complexity. Keep Glaive honest. Don't let him cheat in that fashion. You could see he's securely in pit. He's got Zipnik with him as well. Dupree clearing out mid at the moment, but is he aware Config's position? He has no idea. Config's gonna take him down. Opening kill.
He was waiting for that. It looked like he was looking straight into the wall, but obviously all of his attention was just at the little corner of his screen, and he gets a follow-up on Device, and there's the power of that earlier shot through the door. Device goes down, and Meg is alone, and he's very good, but this is way too much to handle. They're coming in at every single side, and he's going to get shut down by Obo. And Glaive, I think he almost lost all his health to Rush earlier.
Yeah.
So they can't even do anything.
Even Device got tagged up by Poison. That's a nice cleanup from Config. 2 entries coming out mid, and that's a 5th round. We're all tied up for Complexity on the T side of Dust 2.
Yeah, this is very encouraging. I was actually very scared because we were reading that story of the first game of Astralis, the new year. Maybe they're going to be a little bit cold. And then they take 5 rounds in a row and you think, okay, well, now if they were, that's gone. Now they feel great. And yet Complexity managed to turn this into something that looks competitive. So that's a good sign, I think.
Well, now they have the economic control as well. They're flush with cash. They've got plenty of money across all of their players. Meanwhile, Astralis is really hurting. These 2 M4s are critical. They're going to have the full losing bonus as each team trades 5-0 runs.
There we go. 5 in a row, you're right.
And I think Glaive and Zip likely drop M4s over to teammates. And I think we'll get another buy from Astralis.
Fun to see if they're going to be feeling pressured now to try and do something else, Astralis? You know, do they need to sort of try and come up with something a little bit different?
I'm curious about that. Like, when does Zonic call the timeout? Does he want to let his guys try and play through the difficulty, kind of play through the obstacles, or does he want to have some input? Does he notice something yet? Blame F out towards long. Doesn't want to stick around for the fight. But actually, look at Astralis. They're a little bit more scared. In the beginning, in their 5-0 run, they were swinging and taking that fight immediately. This time, huddled back and using the utility. But no one is out for complexity.
Wow, and they're giving up all of long. They just wanted to see if anyone was there to fight. Then they would have had 3 people ready, but instead they all go back, and now they've got a pretty strong setup here at the catwalk and poison. That probably should have been a kill. The bomb even leading, that's dangerous, and the follow-up, they just keep getting baited into this fight, and Astralis have all the players here they need. That Molotov nearly takes down Blameth. He's on 8 health at the end of it. They get the bomb, but that's almost like some sort of staggered defense coming in from Astralis. There's more and more people around the corner ready to fight.
Oh, that's a big push to the smoke for Device. If he'd gone a little bit further, Obo is watching at barrels. But Device just able to catch the bomb carrier, and a 1 versus 5. Astralis back on the board in convincing fashion.
Yeah, that was a huge round, and it looks so different, and Poison gets that kill, but
yes,
that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, but you're exactly right. I mean, this is exactly what Astralis wanted. They clear out long, they say, okay, there's no one here. We'll just rotate all 3 players back. We're gonna have a utility stack on catwalk, double nade, Molotov slows everything down. They get 2 kills from it. And Complexity just get lured into continuing to attack. That part of that, great shot. A timing, a lucky guess, they'll take it.
Config pushing long in the meantime. He's looking into the ground. He just wants to get down in that pit. Can he find the angle? They know he's there. And he actually almost predicting that through. He nearly could have taken down Glaive. Can they punish Sip for being here? Shooting through the smoke, but no one can catch him. That would have been a great trade if they could have got that. Now there's still 5 versus 4 here from getting that kill in middle. And Astralis, they're just pushing everywhere right now. They need to know for sure what's coming.
Well, I mentioned this earlier. This is Magus pushing into Upper Dark. They're going to clear that out. Glaive and Device pushing up mid. They, despite being a man down, they have complete control of the situation. They know exactly where everyone is. They know exactly what's coming next. The question is, can they get their players in the right position? Glaive is going to go for a flank. Zip and Device just have to delay. They don't have to commit to anything.
So much time on the clock. That Molotov maybe going to put a little bit of pressure on them, but Complexity have committed to it. The bomb is still not actually crossed, but Rush will get another kill, and now Astralis need to really think, because if they lose these guns, it's going to be a big issue. Config with a wide swing to take down Magus. Again, that assertive playstyle is just so powerful. And Sip and Glaive now waiting. 2-on-4 as the bomb goes down, and Config lands another headshot. He's definitely feeling it right now, and they're going to get the final one. Blameth will be taking down the remaining player in Magus, and that's now 6-6 with all of the rifles gone for Astralis.
Config had some phenomenal entries earlier coming out mid towards the B bomb site. This is another great and impressive round from him, but leading the way are the 2 Americans. Obo at 12-7, Rush at 12-9.
The eye roll, not happy about the situation.
He got another one. Oh, that's 2 in a row, Poison.
Well, that's a great way to get a round started. Why aren't people doing that more, Jason?
They should just try and do it every round. Another Bulgarian joining the fray. Config and Blameth in lower tunnels, and this is a really awkward situation. Again, the defense just gets thinned out. Glaive starts to cheat towards CT spawn in middle. There's a heavy lean towards this B bomb site, and that's leaving Device at long A all alone.
And because that kill happens in the first seconds of the round, they have so much time Complexity to try and figure out what to do, to sort of feel out where that defense might be.
I'm wondering if Magus is going to push into Upper Dark again with this AWP. Sees the utility, that's going to force him to step into the action, and oh, he might be able to catch Poison. This is going to be awkward. Obo turns the corner. Poison's up next. Magus standing his ground. He's going to lose the fight. Zip still here, still blind, and still shooting headshots.
Yeah, he's still in there. Poison trying to push through, but if Sip stays alive, oh, the flick comes in, and Poison will take him down. That was lightning fast now. Device is alone, and yeah, they should get that bomb plant down. How do you get back into this? He's found an M4, and that's obviously going to be a slightly better tool in this scenario, but How do you get through here? He has a Molotov and a couple of flashbangs, but they have another Molotov on BlameF, and they could buy a lot of time. It's a triple kill instead. Actually, a quad kill for Poison in this round, putting Complexity in the lead at 7-6, and also crushing the Astralis economy. What a turnaround.
Yes, 6 of the last 7 going to Complexity, and they've got 4 entry kills in that run as well. That was something they struggled with to start this game in the first 6 rounds. They only had the 1. Now they're starting to click, and you can see, I mean, these guys, listen, not a lot of experience together. A couple of these players, not a lot of experience in the pro scene. But when you're able to get those opening kills and you create some spaces in the defense, that young talent is going to shine.
What a turnaround. Round number 14, and it's a oh no, right through the smoke, and the grenade of the follow-up. Config goes down. Not what anyone was expecting. That even looked like they were winning that fight in the beginning, and somehow it just turns. So Complexity, you said momentum, that's the thing you just want to ride all the way to victory, and this could absolutely break it.
Well, it's so fitting for Astralis that perhaps breaking the momentum is utility usage. The flashbang to blind the first 2 players that are coming out of long and trying to take control of that for Complexity, the nade follow-up as well. And at this point, if you're Complexity, feels like it is kind of the only option you have. Hit the pause button. See what's going to happen, across the map, who's going to push where, and maybe you get lucky and you catch one.
Surely there's no way Device will check for this.
Device is about to be so mad. Cameras on him, Death Slam incoming. Knife.
Oh, thinking about it. Got to be careful though. Rush, don't want to throw this one away. Yeah, he's going to execute him. The knife is tempting, but not really worth it in this scenario. 40 seconds, and that clock running down is going to be an issue. Magus could get caught here as well. Rush will follow it up with another kill, and they're back in a 2-on-2, and they actually have a real chance of doing this. There's not really a lot to fight back with right now for Astralis, even in spite of all the damage they did early on. Obo avoids the one dig, and he returns in style. Accurate as ever. And Glaive now, USP, halfway across the map, no armor or anything. I can't believe they turned this back in their favor. Just very patient.
If Complexity wins this, they're going to have a lead going into the second half no matter what. They'll be up to 8. This is magnificent out of Complexity. Glaive could have chosen to go towards long to pick up a rifle to save or go for the clutch instead, coming through the smoke. Deagle in hand. 1 at long, 1 in the bomb site.
When he's looking the wrong way, yeah, Rush is in position, and he saved them once again. A triple kill in the round. I mean, it shouldn't have been that close, but the fact that, again, this is just a tiny detail, but as a newish team, you want to be able to prove to yourself that you can fight your way out of some rounds that aren't looking very winnable.
The first round they won was a 3 versus 5.
Yeah.
This is a 2 versus 4 that they win with no real map presence or map knowledge at all. So, yeah, nicely done from Complexity to stay in these rounds and find a way to get the victory. Timeout called and timeout ended.
Just like that. You asked about it, you know, when are Astralis going to start to sort of feel maybe a bit of the weight of this? And I can't really blame them. Rush up at 108 ADR. But everyone is doing a fine job right now on the Complexity side. 8-2. What were the odds? 1 to 26?
1 to 26. I can't imagine it's going to change too much, but I feel like it'll definitely shrink. This is very, very impressive, but still early on in the game.
Oh yeah, we definitely don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
Early on in the game, early on in the series. Listen, the life raft at the moment is looking great. It's still inflated.
Yeah.
No holes. They've got plenty of water.
Still have enough food and water for all 5 people on board. So haven't even had to throw anyone out the life raft yet. All good signs.
Got to imagine BlameF's share of the food. Oh God. Config just ate the nade. Obo as well, down very, very low.
Knowing Config, he might have just been beating his chest out there saying, yeah, is that all you got? And then, actually,
just one, huh?
We've got more. Glaive up close with the M4. Going to be sneaking in, and Rush will find the headshot. That's an impressive kill because he wasn't even flashed in or anything. That could have gone horribly wrong.
That's going to set some panic into the defense because Dupree is all alone with an AWP at the B bomb site. Poison can cause some kind of a distraction. Meanwhile, Zip has rotated away. It's just Device, but this is who you want. The AWP can only get the 1. Good return from BlameF, and now Poison can cut off Dupree as well. He's got that kill.
I think Sip saw, but it doesn't matter. Poison coming through actually might have been saving BlameF there. It looked like Sip had a bit of a read on that one, and Magus gets alone with 16 health. And they're going to get the bomb plant down again. Complexity, that could have been shot all the way down.
That's a beautifully savvy round from Poison, from a young player to just hold in mid, you know, destroy the rotation, be able to peek up ramp, help your teammates. That is really good patience from the young AWPer.
Magus, I don't know. With the M4 especially, He can't just even get the one headshot. Blamef will take him down. He is loving life. But 9-6 in favor of Complexity at the halftime. That's amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing, but they've got a long way to go still. 7 rounds.
And you know, again, for a team that's finding out, you know, what they're all about themselves, that I think is almost universally true. Those CT sides can be very tricky, but I like the attitude anyway. You know, you've got to believe in it before you can actually start to make it happen. So let's see what they do in this particular round. They do have actually a couple of flashbangs and a defuse kit there on Blamef, so they could go even into some sort of after plant and be pretty competitive. Astralis, on the other hand, have picked up 2 smokes and a lot of flashbangs, so I don't mind that they're waiting around. They're checking out the map, pretty default kind of setup right now. I'm sure once they figure out where they want to go, once those smokes go down, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be an all-in from that point on. They do also have the P250, so on device.
That's a pretty big commitment from Complexity at the B bomb site. 3 players inside of the site. Blamef just sinking back from middle through the double doors. And it looks to be the right call for the moment because the bomb is still outside of Upper Dark towards no man's land. Just Magus holding for any kind of a push. 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs for utility for the Astralis side. That's on Glaive and Zipnix. They're both going to be in middle, so you have to imagine they're going to set up for the mid-B split. But Complexity, this is exactly what they want.
And Astralis, they're not even making a big mistake. They've got it all figured out. They know there's no one close to middle. They know they are no one catwalk. They're going to take the fight right away, and Config will land a parting headshot, taking down Device and Megan. And he'll follow it up, taking down Dupree. That's 3. That's a whole arm of the attack gone, and the follow-up is amazing. A quad kill for Config in the pistol round against his own countrymen. That's a strong start.
That's the kind of config we want to see. We saw some evidence of it in the first half. That is a beautiful pistol round. It's been a while since we've seen that smile on that man's face due to what he's done in-game. Very impressive stuff. 3 quick headshots. Listen, it's not going to go that well each and every time, but it looks spectacular when it does.
And that P250, that was, I think, meant to be second in line to sort of to catch that potential for the USP one-shot. Just didn't do anything. That was really, really well shot down. Some grenade damage over at long. And a real chance now for Complexity to actually pick up the map. I mean, they're not out of the woods yet. You still need to survive this first round, but they're obviously going to have at least a buy round as well, Astralis. But this is a pretty good lead that they're building right now. See if they can, you know, mentally again stay in the game like they did in the first half and not get carried away by some of the early success. What is it? 4 Deagles and a Scout right now on the Astralis side.
And again, pretty basic for the moment. Scout on catwalk, looking for aggression. Zip waiting back in T-spawn towards long, looking for aggression. 3 players in Upper Dark. They want to attack this B bomb set again. That's Config, that's Oboe to defend. Config out of utility. Oboe has 1 flashbang. There's no Molotovs, no nades, not another smoke to slow it down.
Oh, leg shot coming through the middle. That does actually a fair bit of damage to Config.
He was shooting at Blamef, who was spamming, and he hit Config way far behind, so that's going to be frustrating. Config with the N4 goes to a headshot angle because of the 11 HP. He'll sit in the back of the B bomb site. Oboe will be forced into the supportive rotation.
If this slows down at all coming into B, Rush is going to be there with a really, really quick flank, and they have to go for it now. They've already been red. There's no way to get through this smoke. The grenade is good long range, but the reload is in there on that MP9, and Oboe will absolutely clean that up. No chance here for any kind of a bomb plant. It'll be a triple kill for the young star, and a lot of money his way. 11-6 now. And Astralis had invested in that round. They needed a lot more than just the, you know, the odd kill.
They definitely did. Small little detail, the players of the B bomb site on Complexity forgot to recover that M4 in the excitement of taking the round. But again, small detail, they're happy with the victory. 11-6. This is an 11-1 run.
That's, I mean, that's, you should put it like that.
Truly juggernaut-like.
Hard to imagine, isn't it? Not many people would have gone so far as to predict this. Did anyone? Was there any crazy person on the talent lineup?
We have a lot of crazy in the talent team, but no one this crazy. Nice shot from Poison, a follow-up tag. What's he, 3 for 3? Make it 4 for 4. Good shooting. He's got another kill, and they are rolling. 12-6.
He was just practicing his aim there, wasn't he? Just no pressure. Ooh, now we're ready.
Listen, just like me, he landed this morning. I think this kind of a game erases all jet lag.
Yeah, it's the cure. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought just destroying the best team in the world? No longer tired.
That'll wake you right up, won't it?
12-6. Here we go. Weapons in hand. Device with the AWP, tapping away his Magisk. A little bit of damage done to Obo, but no big deal.
Between Blameth and opening kill on Device, that's not at all bad. He was very aggressive.
I like that.
I was going to say, between Jason Lake and Blameth, there's a good amount of shouting on this team. Oh, the backstab is in. He wanted to get out to help in mid. Like, how many blame Obo? They've thought that was going to be more of a push there. He got shot in the back instead.
And listen, that might be like the first maybe mistake caused by getting lost or by getting fooled by the attack that we've seen in this half, so fair play. I mean, you'll take that one. 3 players with such a convincing take of the B bomb site. No reason for these guys to risk their utility, risk their money. It's going to be a strong buy in the next round for Complexity again. But Astralis creeping closer, and with 5 players surviving at a victory as well, does wonders for the economy.
It helps out a lot.
And it just stops the streak.
Yeah, the ridiculous.
Good God, it's been 7 in a row.
But here's something. I mean, it's a bit of a shame for Complexity that these aren't AWPs and M4s that they're able to save. But even the fact that they're sort of doing it, because actually Astralis didn't do that many rounds. There are a lot of rounds where Astralis lost that they actually lost more or less everything, which is also uncommon. That is another strength of theirs historically. That even when you do win rounds against them, it's not completely defeating. So could be interesting if Complexity could keep this up economically. Obviously, if they break their own economy here, it's broken by Astralis. That's going to be an issue. But that's a bit of a power play for Device.
It's good to see Astralis flexing a little bit in the other direction now. You know, Device just kind of taking matters into his own hands, going down middle for the pick, right beneath the smoke. Still a scout in Poison's hands. No reason to spend money when you already have that weapon. He's got 6K built up behind it. And again, fast pace. This is what worked in the previous round with the AWP. Now it's Dupree with an AK-47. Plenty of smokes and players in position to take advantage. Only 2 defenders, Obo and Blameth, and they're not working together.
No, they need a lot of kills. They do line up for Blameth, and he gets a double. That's more than you could have asked for. And now Obo needs to get out. Yeah, he has to find a way, because if he stays there, again, he could easily get shot in the back, but that's impressive for Blameth. He could have easily just been traded, and that would have been probably the end of the round. Rush now sneaking in. Oh, the timing. Sip is going to be there, and he gets taken down. That seems like he got absolutely cheated out of a sure victory there. And now it's a 3-on-3.
He got robbed, but you could see it coming. That player was slowly just creeping away from his crosshair. Poison, and this is where the trouble is with that scout, or maybe not. A headshot right through the corner of the door, and now he's back to the A bomb site. That's low HP on Glaive. Glaive's a bit scared to do this on his own. Device out in the open, that's a big risk.
Poison's not even scared, he's just running for it. Does get a bit of a flick in, but not quite connecting. He was close, and they got to be careful again. Glaive is just a bullet away from death, and he's close to the edge. He's going to be going down. That leaves Device now. 1 versus 3. A jump just to confirm it, and he tries for it. He's really crazy now. Device, he should not be winning this. They got to be careful right here. 30 seconds. Don't let him take the fights. Wait for him to plant. He looks for the shot, but Conflict will take him down. Saving the round and putting Complexity at 13. That was a moment that they nearly got too hyped in that 1 versus 3.
Yeah, those clutches will clean up as they get some more experience together, but they certainly gave Device every opportunity to win that. Some one-on-one fights on that ramp, and still another buy coming in for Astralis. One more obstacle for Complexity to survive. 6-round lead.
But if they do win this one, that'd be something. Config down to 30 from jumping past the middle. Just a shot through the door.
At a certain point, it was Obo and Rush leading the way for Complexity. This has become a very team-wide effort from Complexity. 3 players on 16, Poison on 14, and Blameth on 12. No one shooting too far up, and no one not doing their share.
It's a positive sign as well. You have to imagine that will help out just the feeling afterwards, even in the game, right? No one is just feel like they've been dragged through the game. Everyone can be a little bit proud of what's going on. Yeah, 6-round lead. They've got long, though, Astralis, and that's dangerous with Dupree down in the middle. If they have any success at long and Dupree finds the right timing to push through, then it's going to get tricky. Here are the smokes coming in, still 55 seconds on the clock, and Dupree's just waiting in there, and nobody's challenging him at the moment, so let's see how successful they are here, Astralis. I feel like this is a lot of space to give a team like Astralis to work with.
Yeah, but there's so many players here. Oh, a gap in that smoke, a rare mistake. Oh, Poison really needed that shot. Dupree is lurking in middle, Rush in the site. Obo's gonna add 1 kill onto it. He's on catwalk, and still Astralis have not been able to make the cross.
No, they're really slow about this, and Rush will follow it up, taking down Glaive, and it's sort of crumbling right at the precipice of the A-bomb side. It's Rush again, taking down Sif and Dupree. He wanted to be there a little bit later. He wanted that bomb plant, he wanted more of a distraction at the A-bomb side, and he never got it.
That must be the most uncharacteristic Astralis round. I think that is where you see more than anything the Rust coming into play. A very weak, disjointed hit onto the A-bomb site. Some missed shots that are normally a lock for kills, and Device gonna try and save this weapon. He knows he's being hunted, but he's been shot from behind, from catwalk, and everything is taken from Astralis.
You mentioned that gap in the smoke, a lot of little details that you don't really ever see out of Astralis, so that's interesting. Good tracking from Obo.
This is the one where it's interesting. Glaive goes down. Yeah, there's some good flashes from Poison, but you know, another player just left all on his own. Zip has nowhere to go.
You notice something cool as well. When Poison misses that shot, him and another teammate on catwalk immediately turn to go fight on catwalk. They're so mentally prepared for the idea that, okay, like rather than shooting through the smoke, let's make sure that we're not getting backstabbed and that we hold that catwalk control. So just some tiny details that are worth, looking for.
They have some theory down, and obviously they've shown us some very cool things, which is interesting considering BlameF in an interview just said, they didn't have the greatest boot camp. There was still a lot of things that they were fixing, which is going to be true for some time. But reading that interview, it painted a much darker picture in my head. And yeah, we mentioned Astralis might be a little bit rusty coming into this, but not this rusty.
Maybe they were lying. Maybe they were just setting us all up.
Sandbagging.
Sandbagging. Oh no, that's dangerous, Obo. Though he'll save it. If he would have gone down, and he absolutely could have, that would have been 2 rifles, and Poison would have been left alone with an AWP over at long. So it would have been all kinds of bad. He's still got to be careful here, but he's on point with that AWP. And he's got no issues at all. Taking down Device and Dupree. It's about to be 15 rounds for Complexity. I can't even believe I'm saying that.
What's up with Bulgarian just cranking out oppers?
I don't know. They've got something going on.
Yeah, something in the water.
They found a way. Bulgarian talent factory.
14-7. Glaive's got to be scratching his head at this point. They're going to have to go on an 8-0 run to force overtime, or something miraculous here from the in-game leader. I like this. Complexity playing very disciplined. Everyone playing with distance, everyone just sitting back, no one making a mistake, everything's covered for the moment, and everyone can just fall away once they get the information. Nobody has to commit to a fight.
Yeah, they had that one versus... Woo! That's a fantastic headshot.
Get banged out.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
That was the same angle. He just won that fight twice, but this time Glaive a little bit quicker. But yeah, they had the 1 versus 3 against Device that they almost gave away, so I can't blame them for not wanting to do that.
It's a scout, though.
It is a scout. The grenade will help out, and the flashbangs to follow it up, and all the patience paying off here. 15-7, ladies and gentlemen. What a wild start.
This started out 5-0. It has been a 15-2 run to get to this point.
How many people at that point, at the 5-0 point, do you think said, you know what, now's the time for me to get something extra to drink? Like, I'm just going to walk away and it'll be all right. And you come back, 5 minutes later and you think, whoa,
like, yeah, this
what?
is about how I expected things. Let's go watch League of Legends or something.
Yeah,
here we are.
Amazing stuff, isn't it? As you said, they would need an 8-round run, Astralis. They do at least have the money to start that run with, and it is not out of the question. But what a way to get this series started.
Why is everyone looking backwards? Like, Zonic, what do we do? Please help.
Help.
Call the timeout. Pull the cord.
Oh, they're loving it right now. So, some opposite reactions.
Enjoy it while you can. Vertigo's next.
That's a good point. I was about to say as well, it seems unfair if Astralis managed to make Vertigo one of their maps that you sort of have to ban against them. Then they have that and Nuke against almost all teams.
Yeah.
That's too much, That's 2 maps out of the 7 that you just know people probably won't be able to pick. So
yeah, things weren't already unreasonable. BlameF holding the line, and they double up. Poison had the leg on Dupree, and that might seal this first map. Poison going for more, peeking towards top mid. There's the jump, but he's even got that. He's having a pretty special game so far.
Astralis, I think, just trying to set the pace of this round, saying we'll beat you to that corner and then we'll open it up, and that's going to be the start of something big. And instead they get absolutely shut down. Poison looking into the middle, a little bit scary, but he's found the right angle, and that's the bomb down on Device. He has really been outsniped by Poison a number of times. Now it's a 2-on-5. And again, Complexity, if they can just remind themselves to keep it cool, they should be fine. Blameth going down. I think Magus a little bit further up than they were expecting. And that could result in a bomb plant here. This isn't quite over yet.
No, but what they do have is Rush and Oboe out towards long.
Yeah.
Poison and Config going to be coming from CT spawn. This is a powerful retake, especially with the advantage of utility. Zip and Magus have to get aggressive somewhere, and it's towards Cat that Magus is going.
And they might be in a lot of trouble. Config has that one Molotov, so if they go on Catwalk, he could block at least one of them out, and that would be an issue. Now they're trying to get in there. Magus will get the kill, the turnaround, and actually he'll follow it up. Magus with the grenade, and now Rush on the other side. This is where they need to close it out. Don't ever give Astralis a chance to get back in a game. He's waiting for it, and Magus will take it down. A quad kill in the round to somehow save Astralis. That is an unbelievable turnaround, a 2-on-5. That Astralis managed to turn.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's magnificent, and you don't want to give Astralis those chances. That retake might have been a bit quick. I didn't see where all the utility went. Complexity had a lot of nades, and I didn't catch a lot of it coming out in that 4-on-2. Might have gotten a bit over-eager. Poison jumping with the ult for intel, and that's just too many kills given up to Magus.
Oh no. He got slowed down initially and stumbles into the remaining barrage. Magus taking him down, leaving Oboe alone, and that causes an instant rotation as well. In the middle, Blameth just pushing up. I don't know if they know. Sip is sort of thinking about it, but this could get way out of control. He's very exposed, and in 3 seconds from now, he's about to get shot in the back. I don't even think he realizes he's still ducked down here, and they might not quite be able to see him, so he's maybe got a chance. He's turning for it, and there's Sip. I love the idea, but that does not pay out in the end. Now it's Config somehow with an AWP, not the sight that we're used to seeing. He's going to pick up the one kill at least, and we'll fall back a little bit. The bomb is up there, and he tries for the blind shot, but there's nobody else here at A.
Oh, Device is even going to make sure they're punished as they fall away. He's going for 3. He's going to take everything from Complexity, and it's Config to go down finally. 9-15, and no more money for the defense. It's time for a deep breath for this young team. Astralis looking to make a late run. And this is where, yeah, you had a big lead, but as it disappears, the pressure is just going to grow. Complexity has to be very careful how they play these last 6 rounds.
Absolutely agreed. You just heard a Device saying there, you know, it's either their last buy or they're recoing. So they have a pretty good read on the economy, and they're going to be confirmed in that right now. And that's the problem, you know, even if it's going to be 6 rounds, you know that not all of them are going to be fully equipped from the CT side at all. And this crossfire in middle, impossible to break with USPs, some would say.
Yeah, that's about as impossible as things get. And Device starting to heat up with the ult. Magus doing some work with the Krieg. He's got 21 kills, and this is an easy march into the bomb site. Blameth going to go down last. Double digits for Astralis. Still smiles despite being 5 rounds back.
Finish him is exactly right, isn't it? That's what they need. That's what they've got to aim for, because if you keep them alive into overtime, I just feel like that's not gonna end well.
No, I feel like Complexity have to win this in regulation, or I think overtime is just way too much to ask. 15-10, another timeout being called, and I think it's just because Complexity, I save here if I'm them. I know you feel like you really want to buy, you don't want to be giving up rounds for free this late in the game, but just establish your money, get all the cash you possibly can beneath you, make sure you have everything you need for the last few rounds, as many buy rounds as possible. So they go with deagles and nades.
And the nades especially is what I'm looking forward to, you know? 5 of them all together, just find a way.
That can do some damage.
It would be, you know, a strong sense of irony if they were able to take down Astralis using grenades in the winning round. Just that utility damage. They are stacking up over at long, so they've got at least 3 people there. Device is going to be at the corner with the AWP, but he's already backing out, so they do a fair amount of damage. That's not bad at all. We're obviously hoping that that you would, you know, land a whole stack of them.
Oh, they went for it. Tried to bait a shot out of Device, but it's not going to happen. He holds the trigger for the second peek. He's down to 17 health. 2 nades left on Oboe and Blameth, and they are nowhere near each other, so they can't stack those up. And Astralis has got the idea. Look how patient they're being on the map. At least the three players, Zip, Device, and Magisk, very far back in T-spawn. Glaive being cautious as well, and Dupree sticking away to join up with his teammates. They're looking for the follow-up aggression, and they found it on Catwalk, and now comes the hit. It's just poor, lonely Oboe.
With the Deagle tagging away at them, but you see the return. It's unfair, isn't it?
Oh.
Somehow Poison lands a shot on Glaive. That's absurd. All the way down through the middle, he's able to get that. Device is there covering, making sure he's got a little bit of a count on what's going on in the middle, but the bomb plant is going to be going down, and I think that, even though that's impressive from Poison, should not be enough to get through this.
And Device isn't going to be baited to committing to that fight down mid. You could see him check out towards long in case he was just being frozen in position for a flank to come in. Now he cheats over towards the B bomb site so we can have a better and safer angle. And Complexity just looking to do some damage, to take some guns away right at the end, but Astralis not giving them the opportunity.
Yeah, really playing this one safely as they should. Still, so much time has already passed, and I think the best Complexity could hope for right now. They got the Krieg on Oboe, which is actually kind of a big deal. He's playing that B-bomb site alone a lot of the time, so that's what you want. Oh, they steal it. Rush will pick it up, and BlameF will get an AK at the end. So some good recoveries from Complexity. 4 more rounds to go for Astralis, and they will complete the comeback into overtime, which would be quite something.
Yeah, this is nice trigger discipline. Device doesn't... Ooh, he flinches a little bit, but he knows what's coming next. Config not quick enough on the draw. This is a spectacular shot. Doesn't have any impact on the round, really, except it puts an AK-47 on the floor that BlameF would eventually pick up. But now we get right back into it. Guns on both teams, full utility on both teams, and fast-paced Zip is going to get the opening kill. Flashbang is perfect. He's blind in return, and Rush is going to try and hold the line. There's flames everywhere. He's got a triple kill. Poison is going to close things out. It's Glaive again, and a 1 versus 4. Map 1 is going to go to Complexity.
What a way to win. That was down to the last second. If Rush goes down in the middle of that, they don't even get close, I think. Astralis just take long and win the entire fight, but instead, he stayed alive, and there it is, 16-11. Complexity do what nobody would have expected, and they take map 1 against Astralis. First game here in 2020 for Astralis, and it is not what we were expecting.